Welcome to the Rural Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Dana Larson. This week we're taking you to the farm outside of New Providence, Iowa with lifestyle photographer and leatherist Allie Nelson. Allie has so many cool things going on, and she's giving us a look at her life as a farm wife, creative, and small town entrepreneur. So here we go with Allie Nelson. Well, we're here today with Allie Nelson, who is a lifestyle photographer and leatherist based out of rural New Providence, Iowa. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Allie, give us a little bit of a glimpse into your life as a farm wife and a creative and a small town entrepreneur.
So I guess, I don't know, I feel like I lead a pretty simple life, but people always say I'm super busy, so I'll try to talk through that a little bit. I still work as a nurse in a clinic nearby 3 days a week. And then when I'm not there, I'm home with my 2-year-old trying to do my other work, chasing him around. But yeah, so I work primarily out of my house for my two businesses, my photography and my leather. So 3 days a week, I'm in the clinic. So that's what I actually went to school for. Right out of high school, I went to nursing school, and then I still love it. I just needed something else to do instead of just be a nurse.
Yeah. Your creative side was wanting to come out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, with all these different things going on, what does your day-to-day look like?
So the days I'm not at the clinic, I'm here with my 2-year-old, and I do everything from home. So unless I'm out on a photo shoot, so I don't have a studio for my photography. I like being outside and I like natural light. I don't want a studio, so it works well for me. But my day-to-day would be, the administrative stuff, answering emails, sending out quotes, and then I'm fortunate my little guy lets me do leather too. He's a good helper, but nap times are great for getting my leather work done. So I'm just running my social media and working on leather and getting out orders.
I love it. Well, take us back a little bit, kind of before all this started, and share about your life and journey and kind of what led you to where you're at today.
Sure. So I grew up just 15 miles from here in Eldora, and my dad is an artist. He's pretty well known. He does good for himself. So I grew up watching him paint, draw, sketch, and he had a full-time job too, and he just did his art, on the weekends and in the evenings. So I spent lots of hours in his shop with him, listening to the Eagles, watching him paint all night. And I think he always wanted me to be interested in art, and I guess I was the student in art class who everyone asked for help from. Like, they were like, Allie, can you finish this for me? And I never really thought anything of it. There's such a big push in high school, like, oh, go get your four-year degree, So that's what I did. And I love nursing, but yeah, I knew there was something I needed to be creative and get that creative outlet. And so I started with my husband, and my mother-in-law went in and got me a camera for my birthday about 4 years ago, probably. Just a simple starter camera. And I started with taking pictures on the farm of my husband and lots of cows and some pigs when I felt like getting stinky. But and people liked them. I posted them on my Facebook, and they're like, oh, you're so good, whatever. And I never really thought anything of it. And then 3 years ago, I got asked to do my first senior session of people I knew, down the road or whatever. And I was like, are you sure? I just take pictures of cows. Like, really, I don't do people. But I really loved it, and they liked the pictures. And so I started out with that, and then, word of mouth travels, and I upgraded my equipment, and the photography just kind of took off. And I just really love my families, and I got to do some weddings, so it's pretty fun. And then on the leather side, in 2016, I started I just had it under Allie Nelson Leather, is what I called it, because I didn't do much. But I guess it started with I wanted to make my husband a belt because he complained to me constantly about trying to find a good leather belt. So I mean, it's an unsaturated market around here. There's not a lot of leatherists. So I felt like it was something I could probably do. I'm kind of crafty. So my brother-in-law got me a starter kit for Christmas, and I made a belt and then made a couple other things, started posting it, and people loved it. So that's where.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're totally self-taught.
Yes.
Help from YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just going to say YouTube. Like, YouTube's your best friend.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And you know, talking to other people and you know, asking for help and that kind of thing. But yeah, primarily self-taught.
That's great.
Yeah.
So with your dad being a painter, do you feel like everyone kind of expected you to paint as well?
Yeah. I remember fielding questions as a, you know, teenager and kid, like, so you can draw too, like your dad? And I'm like, no, not. I didn't really, like, it wasn't a super high on my interest level at that point. Like, I was like, no, I'm going to be a nurse. It's fine. But I enjoyed art. I was good at art class, whatever. But I felt like I really obviously needed something that interested me a lot. And painting and art and drawing and pastels are his thing. So I felt like I needed something a little more tangible, like, and with the leather, I can be artistic and it's useful. The stuff is useful. I mean, as long as you think earrings are useful, I do. But,
Yes.
but like the belts and the bags and stuff like that, like making a quality product that people can have and use and was important to me. And I guess the photography is a little more like on the artistic side. You put that on your wall just like you would art or on your Facebook profile. But
Yes.
that needs to be pretty too. So yeah, I think I've always been super interested in art. It just I took a different medium than he did. So
I love it.
yeah.
So you're still a nurse by day, we'll call it. But did you start out full time and then have you kind of cut back as these creative businesses have grown?
Yes. So I have worked as a full-time either CNA or nurse since high school, off and on. And then I went part-time after I had my first baby. And I was also doing photography at the time. And I just felt like I was going to have to give up one or the other, you know, to keep, or something had to give because I couldn't give 100% to both. So, yeah, it's working good for now. I feel like I can give an appropriate amount to each. So, but yeah, it's definitely hard, you know, balancing.
Yeah, especially around Christmas, I'm sure.
Yes,
like, I know you were slammed this last Christmas.
Yes, it was a good holiday season. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you live on the farm and you run these businesses from here, but you don't have a storefront. So
Right.
How have you marketed yourself and what you're doing?
Sure. So when you work, anyone that works or runs a business from their house is going to agree that the internet's your best friend when you're out here.
Yes.
And hopefully you have fast internet because in the country it can get kind of sketch. But we do now. We haven't always. But there was a time where my son couldn't watch, you know, Netflix and I couldn't be uploading photos on a gallery at the same time. One of us had to get off. But so, yeah, I mean, internet marketing, that kind of thing is great. I don't have a storefront. My interest in photography is lifestyle. So I'm not super interested in a studio. I feel like I have a little different style maybe than some traditional photographers, which is not for everybody, but it works for me and people seem to like it. So that's not an issue for me. I guess I've done quite a few leather classes, so it's nice to have a place, you know, that you can be comfortable and run some classes out of. So that would be a goal of mine, is to find somewhere awesome or talk my husband into building me something someday out here where I can have some classes and do more of that kind of stuff because that's really fun. I love to teach, so I'd like to do that. But yeah, primarily my business is online. I mean, my leather, I ship stuff everywhere, so all over the country, which is awesome to me. I have a great local following, but I do ship all over the place. And I would say, you know, my website does well, but Instagram and Facebook also is free, and it's awesome marketing. So
Especially when you're an amazing photographer.
yeah, it helps. It kind of all like goes together. You can take pictures of your products, and yeah, it does help.
Absolutely. Well, tell us more about your leather classes. I think that's awesome. So you're hosting them and other people can come and learn?
Yes. Yeah. So I've done 3 so far. They fill up super fast. I just don't have a ton of time to do them. But yeah, we usually pick a couple, 1 or 2 options that you can make. And then, yeah, you just come and bring your friends and have fun and take home your keychain or whatever we decide to make. Yeah. It's been super fun.
I totally want to come.
Yeah, it's fun. Hopefully I can get another one going this spring. So
That'd be great.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you do wholesale then because you are internet based and don't have a storefront?
I've been asked a lot of times by boutiques online to do wholesale. I did a couple times. I just felt like I didn't love it. Like it wasn't. I mean, and people are into it. Like I get messages all the time, like we want this in wholesale, but I'm not in it to mass produce a product, I guess. So I'd rather work one-on-one with a customer than I have a couple boutiques I have my stuff in that are awesome. They do great for me. They are great advertising and they love what I put out. But it's not wholesale. So no, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it's a great thing. It's just not for me. So
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
And the people who you're working with then are just fine with the one-offs and having
Right.
different stuff to choose from all the time.
Right.
Which
And
is,
I feel like a lot of my, the people that reach out to me for a custom order, they want something that's just made one time. They don't want something that someone else already has.
yeah.
So it's fun to create something just for them, so.
Well, your pieces are so unique and cool. And so I can see why that fits. Yeah. What's the most rewarding thing about being a creative?
I think the most rewarding for me was at first too, when I was first getting started. Like I created something that I liked, obviously, that I had thought up in my head, and someone else liked it too. I just felt like, okay, like I can do this, because they always say that the life of an entrepreneur, like on Monday, you're like, something great happens. You're like, yes, this is awesome. I'm the best at this. And then the next day you're like, oh crap, this is bad. I shouldn't have done that. Like it's so up and down, like you're second guessing yourself. But I feel like, it's super rewarding when people like your style and like what you do. So
Absolutely. So on the flip side, what has been the most challenging part of that?
sure. So for me, my biggest downfall is saying yes to too much. So I never want to turn anybody down, but it's to create something quality and make it, personal and meaningful for them. You can't take on too much, and that goes for leather and photography. I can't overbook myself with photos either because I want to, I just take a handful of weddings each year because I want to really be present emotionally at their day and get to know my brides and just, really make it special and give them pictures that they're going to love. So
I totally know that feeling. And, so you've started these businesses. Have you found that you've needed to go out and seek out sponsorships and partnerships with people, or have you kind of let that come to you, or how have you handled all of that? Because I think that's like one big unknown when you're starting. You're like, I don't know, where do I start?
Right, to get your name out there.
Yeah.
Yes. So the best thing I guess I can say for that is I have so many people around me that are so supportive, and they're always, looking out for me and thinking of my business. And, I have friends that live in bigger towns, Des Moines, and I'm in a boutique, down that area in Ames, and it was all word of mouth. One of my best friends was in her store, and she's like, I have this friend, and I think you'd like her stuff. So she hooked us up that way. So as far as going out and seeking people to, promote you, I guess Instagram has a big like influencer trend right now where you're an Instagram influencer, you post, you know, the products you wear and the brands, and I've tried that a little bit. It gets kind of messy, and you know, the influencers can only have one bag brand and one shoe brand and whatever. So, but I've had some really good publicity from Instagram. So I can't, and Instagram's been great, so I can't bash it completely. But
Yeah.
and I've met some awesome people online from everywhere, you know, that have liked my stuff, and then they'll repost it, and it gets a ton of traffic. So that's really been fun to see. But it is hard. It's hard to know where to start to get your name out there. And I guess at the beginning, I didn't have high expectations, so I was giving more stuff away than I was making just to get my name out there. So I finally kind of reached that point where I don't have to do that as much anymore, which is good.
Good feeling.
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been talking with just some friends lately about how there's so many awesome creators in rural areas, and I feel like they're just hidden, but they are so talented. And so, what advice would you have for somebody, for that person out there who's thinking about taking a step out and exploring like a creative side hustle, if you will?
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing is about a side hustle, as they call it, is there's not a lot of pressure. So you can kind of work into it as you want, I guess, as the speed you want to take. As opposed to if it's your full-time job, it's like, okay, you got to get this done. So I've looked at it that way a long time, you know, a lot of times where I felt, you know, not sufficient or frustrated. I'm like, well, you know, just take it slow and see where it goes. But I guess my biggest advice would be, you know, just surround people that support you. Surround yourself with people that support you. Because you say, you know, you can call yourself a one-man show, but it's really not. Like, I ask for help all the time. My husband helps me. My mother-in-law sews stuff for me. You know, it's not just me. So I have the ideas and the goals, but it takes a village. So
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that Instagram can do is it gives this front like it's just one person.
Yes.
And so many times it takes a village, you know, and it is all these people behind the scenes pitching in to help. And
yeah.
well, you recently built a new house here out on the farm. It's awesome. It has this great view. I love it. What does it mean to you to be a farm wife and a mom?
So I feel kind of silly because I don't hardly do much on the farm at all. But
As if you don't have enough going on already.
They're fine without me. They don't need. I didn't grow up on a farm, so I'm not super useful. But I guess I don't know. I told Alex we dated for 5 years before we got married, and I was like, no, we're not gonna live in New Providence, Al. You're gonna have to. You can farm there, but we're gonna have to live out. We're gonna have to live in a bigger town. You know, like I can't deal with it. But I don't know. There's just something about it I love. I mean, it's close to home for me. The town's great, even if we didn't think it was when we were teenagers dating. But yeah, I love it. I love being out here on the farm. It inspired my photography, and it got that going for me. So there's just something about rural America that I don't know is inspiring to me. It inspires my photography and my leather work. So
I love it. Well, tell us a little bit, more about New Providence and what it is that you have grown to love about this community.
Yes. I guess it's super supportive, obviously. The people are great. And for a small town, they really do well, with promoting activities, and they keep the town up so nice, for young families. They built a new park, and it's safe, and yeah, it's just home. It's a good place to live.
And it's a town of 250 people.
Right.
So, and you just mentioned that one of the state senators came this morning and wanted to talk with all of you, because I really do believe all of you entrepreneurs in this town are setting a really great example.
Yeah, it was for all of Hardin County, so it was great. The Hardin County Young Professionals group met with her, so yeah, it was good. It was fun.
What do you think the benefits are of running your business in a small town versus a large town?
Well, I really like selling things to people I know.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I love my Instagram business and shipping stuff all over. Like, see how far I can ship. Something's pretty fun too.
Uh-huh.
But I've met so many people, and that I consider friends now through my photography as well. Like, and I see them all the time. So it's fun to build those relationships. And I take a lot of pictures for friends too. But becoming friends after taking pictures is pretty cool. And I feel like I'm friends with all my clients. Maybe they don't feel the same, but I feel like we're best friends after we take pictures together. So yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of my friends that I went to high school with and even college, they picked a big town to live in, a big city, which is fine. But I just felt like it wasn't for me. I needed to be obviously close to the farm, but I missed the small rural community. Like, that's just more my personality. So I know there's lots of opportunities and stuff out there in the big town, and I could probably run my businesses fine in a bigger town. It just wouldn't be as fun for me.
Yeah.
So
Well, you have a lot going on, but what's coming up next for you in all these different areas?
yeah. So like I said, I just take a handful of weddings each year, so I'll have those starting up in June. And then scattered in between the weddings, I'll have seniors and families too. So hopefully we can have a good, nice weather spring and summer, so we can get out there and do those. And then for leather, I have I'll be doing my spring jewelry line, which I always kind of get in I don't know, my husband calls it like an obsession. Each line I have, like right now I'm really into feathers, so that's what I'm doing right now, but it'll be something different in the spring. So I'll launch that line, and then a couple fairs and craft festival things I'll do throughout the summer. And then as far as advertising and sponsorship, I have a couple boutiques that carry my leather stuff, my leather goods, and that's been awesome. So I'll continue to put stuff through there. And then I have my brand rep, Rachel Ostrom. She has been with me for about 2.5 years. She's the face on my Instagram page. It's not my beautiful face. It's Rachel's beautiful face. So she's on there. She's modeled for me. I take photos for her for all her press. So she's just started her reign as Miss Rodeo Iowa 2019. So she'll be going all over the country sporting her Dos Rios leather goods, which will be super exciting. And I have her coronation coming up next month. So if you all don't follow her on Instagram, you should. It'd be super fun to follow along with what all they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's my brand rep, and we've known each other for a long time. So I'm super thankful for that relationship, and she advertises my stuff so well. So that's been awesome.
Great. Well, how do we follow along and keep up with everything that's going on?
Yes, lots of ways. So my website, just AllieNelsonDesign.com. I've made just one website, and you can get on there and click on photography or leather. So that's kind of nice. And then my Instagram pages, Allie Nelson Photo and Dos Rios Leather. And then both have Facebook pages too. So yeah, so I post, information on classes, and I sell stuff off Instagram and Facebook. And then in the end of February, I'm doing another online Facebook trunk show. So yeah, you can get on there, and I'll post a bunch of new goods to buy on there too.
Very fun.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, Allie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been great.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, I love how Allie chose her own creative path and how that just keeps expanding into new things. And you guys, she's so good at all of them. We're going to link to all this in the show notes so you can go check it out for yourself. And also, be sure to check out the Dos Rios Leather Co. playlist on Spotify. This is one you're going to want to save for your next road trip. And just in case you didn't catch it last month, we did a week-long feature of Allie's town, New Providence, Iowa, which has a lot of great rural revival stories happening there. So be sure to check those out as well, and I know you'll be inspired. Thanks so much to Allie for being on the podcast today, and thanks to you for tuning in. We'll be back here next week. Have a great day, everybody.